If your team is still managing projects in Excel and hoping for miracles, this episode is going to be your intervention. Paul Koetke has built over 100 PMO systems using Smartsheet, and what he's about to share could save your company millions. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me on.
Really appreciate you being here. So let's start off with the problem. How come so many project management efforts fall flat even when they have tools in place?
Oh, man, there are a lot of big reasons why this happens. I found that one of the biggest ones, this was from a great study that Smartsheet did a couple of years ago, was that people are focusing too much on the deadlines of when work is supposed to be done. And there's this fixation on, hey, our product is launching in 3 months from now. And oftentimes what gets missed is that middle work. What are the incremental steps that we're going to take day by day? Let's take this big project that we're doing. Let's break it down into nice bite-sized pieces that we can accomplish on a regular basis. And if we can keep doing that, then we can hit those deadlines in the longer run.
Totally makes sense. And I agree with you. Extreme. I used to have a CEO who used to be like, oh, you finished the sprint? Why didn't you start the next sprint immediately? Because the actual scheduled end date isn't until Friday and it's Wednesday. So there's still some people working. Oh, but get them started. I can't. It doesn't work that way. And he'd
You
get
have
mad.
to
Like,
work with the cadence.
yeah.
Yep.
And I'd let them go home early or whatever after they, heck, if I gave you 20 things to do during this sprint and you got them done 2 days early, I'm going to reward you by sending you home. I'm not going to worry that there's 25 more due dates coming up because those aren't yet assigned. So who cares?
Exactly. Take it easy, keep it fresh.
Yeah, people focus too much on checking the boxes off and not enough about their people, I think, in my opinion. So you helped Johnson & Johnson, you helped Cushman and Wakefield overhaul their PMOs. What kind of things were they struggling with before you stepped in?
The big one is getting visibility into everything that's going on. I have had so many clients that come to me and say, hey, Paul, listen, we are running hundreds, sometimes thousands of different projects, and we're absolutely just drowning in this. Oftentimes these companies have just a wild west of project management. You got some people doing it in Excel because everyone has Excel on their computer. You've got some people saying, hey, I'm going to try Smartsheet. Some other people are maybe in ClickUp or using MS Project if you're really serious about project management. And the biggest thing that they're coming with to me is saying is, hey, we need a cohesive system and we need people to be speaking the same language, to be able to work together, to be able to communicate together, but then be able to roll this up to leadership and have leadership be able to understand what's actually going on across these giant portfolios of projects so that they can make the decisions they need to be able to make to keep things running forward, to keep the company moving in an agile and adaptable way.
So do you think that the reason Excel is still so widely used for project tracking is because it's so commonly on machines?
Absolutely. I heard a stat a couple of years ago that Excel is still the #1 project management tool out there, which boggles my mind. But it's because every single corporate computer comes with your Microsoft suite of tools, Excel being one of those. It's there. Every single person has access to it. And quite frankly, everyone's fairly comfortable in it. Most people have been using Excel for at least 10, 20 years. But it's second nature. Hey, what am I going to use? I have some tools at my disposal. Excel seems like the most natural fit based on what I have today. Let's go there.
So do you have any examples where a client's spreadsheet-based process was costing them money?
Absolutely. So recently, I was working with a particular client and they were doing some real estate acquisitions. And what was happening here is they were opening up these new storefronts and they were doing everything in Excel. And so each project manager had a couple of their Excel sheets that they get together at the end of every week and sit in a room together where the director of operations would then plug this information into their master Excel sheet and giving these individual reports, everything went in there. Then they take this master Excel sheet and hand that up to leadership. The issue that was happening was that for them to collect all this information and pull it up to the leadership level, by the time it got up there would be about 2 to 3 weeks later. And so some of these stores were missing their openings. and causing cascading effects from this, which at the end of the day is reducing their revenue potential because they're buying these new stores. They need to have them open so their customers can start visiting and it's paying money and driving that revenue stream. And because of these delays that were happening, they're losing weeks or months at a time on each store.
Is there like a common aha moment that clients have after they adopt Smartsheet with your framework?
Yes. The biggest one is always when we take a look at a portfolio level dashboard. So we build out dashboards for the major stakeholder groups and to allow them to see, hey, here are all of your projects, or if you're a project manager, here are all of your tasks across your projects. But for the leadership level, hey, you have 20 projects in the pipeline right now. 5 of them are going really well. You've got 6 that are about to go live next week, or the store is going to open. And here are 3 that are struggling. And here's what's going on. Here where the blockers are. This is in real time. So you can open this up when you're sitting down at your desk in the morning saying, what do we need to do today? Boom. Here is exactly what you need to do in real time to make sure that you can support the people that need the support and make sure that everything keeps going along.